Opportunity is given
There's no voting right now.
to citizens to address the board on matters of general district business. 5 minutes per speaker, 20 per subject. Unless a vote of the majority of the board wishes to hear further. Also, at their request, members of the audience may address the Board of Trustees on any item during the board's consideration of that item. Okay? Anyone wishing to speak? Okay, we will begin.
Push the red button to see the light, honey.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Patrick Mitchell. I'm the president of the Merced College Faculty Association. I'm going to keep my remarks very brief right now. I want to say just what I think you need to hear before you go into closed session. And you're probably all aware of the fact that last week, Julie Clark, who is the Academic Senate president, and I were removed from the president's hiring committee. I'm not allowed to say what the specific reason is. I can only say that we were, well, it was not through any wrongdoing on our part. I think that's been acknowledged on all sides. We were accused of having a conflict of interest, for lack of a better way to put it. We don't agree that we had a conflict of interest. The faculty are very, very upset that their voice on the committee has been diminished from 5 faculty down to 3, and are also upset about the fact that there was no process in place for us to be able to appoint designees to replace ourselves during the process, or as I understand, even at the beginning of the process, because I've heard secondhand that another committee member may have been interested in stepping aside but was told that they couldn't because the board policy specifically says that that position is on the committee. I just wanted you to hear from my perspective. I don't know what you're going to hear in closed session, but again, it was through no wrongdoing on our part, but the faculty are very, very upset that there was no process in place for us to be able to replace ourselves, and I hope that we can somehow remedy that situation. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to address the board at this time?
Good evening. My name is Megan Igo. I'm NCFA Vice President, but I'm not. What I'm going to say tonight is actually not my words. These are the words of Meg Withers. She is unable to be here tonight because she has a class that doesn't end for a couple more hours, so she would not be able to make it. So she asked me to read this statement for her. Dear Board, Merced College, President, Superintendent, and attendees, I'm sorry I cannot be present for this meeting tonight. I have a class which runs until 7 p.m. However, I insist on taking a position on behalf of my students. Have you ever noticed that the single cause for my caterwauling and complaints is consequences for students? In any case, I take the position of your external conscience, since your collective internal conscience seems to be in the malfunction position for much of the last 9 months. After the last board meeting, at which there were approximately 18 of my students from various classes present, I asked them to respond to what they witnessed at that meeting. Following are portions of 8 response papers given to me by students to the activities and actions of the boards and its minions on that one occasion. Number 1, we should care about what is happening in our school and have a voice to be involved for change. Number 2, the board members do not show they care for us. Number 3, the budget of the school must change for students to have more choices and fewer fees. Number 4, the board should have focused their attention on a teacher who was abused by the paid leave and who was not given a chance to speak publicly. They seem like they keep secrets and decide before the meetings what will happen. That one man who keeps saying, call the vote, and no one has ever even talked yet, he is very strange. Number 5, students who cannot get financial aid should be given grants and other ways to go to school. The board spends too much money on lawyers and other stuff that does not help students. Number 6, we are not fooled by promises. We know who works on behalf of students and who just wants good insurance and prestige. Number 7, we need to look for new people on the board since the ones who sit up high in those chairs don't seem to care about student welfare. Number 8, the board meeting would be comical and amusing, almost like a soap opera. The board members are not bad actors, but people in high positions who have the power to make or break the college. Number 9, the short amount of time that others were given to speak just shows how apathetic the Board of Trustees is toward grievances from the people who work with students. Number 10, the last part of the meeting was the determination of who will be the trustees to serve on the Presidential Selection Committee. Each person on the board stated whether or not they wanted to be on the committee and why they should be chosen. The problem was that the board members were the only ones able to choose who got to be on the selection committee. The board members could vote for themselves and only needed 4 votes to get on the committee. This does not give the faculty or especially the students any say in anything, especially who should help choose the next president. Number 11, if they wanted more diversity, they could have let Mr. Gutierrez, the one from Los Baños, serve on this committee. What's up with that? Number 12, the whole of the meeting appeared to be that the school and board need faculty and students, but do not care to hear their opinions or their grievances. Number 13, the 2.5 hours that I was at that board meeting showed a theme that is all too common. The higher-ups make the decisions, and the little guys have to deal with them as best they can. This is what students from classes which range from English 84 to transfer level 1A classes have to say about your actions and attitudes. No wonder they want new board members. And that's the end of Meg's missive. Thank you for your attention.
Anyone else wishing to address the board?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I feel like the guy in Verizon. Can you hear me? My name is Charles Schlinger. I am a math instructor here at this campus. And first of all, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to address you again. So most of you will probably remember I addressed you approximately 1 year ago. There were some difficulties that occurred, and you had Dr. Taylor go ahead and talk with me and with other people involved to kind of resolve some situations, if you remember that. Should I go into further detail? Or do you remember? Okay, thank you so much. Dr. Taylor assured me that within 6 months things would be better. 4 months after that, he was let go. And so I think that perhaps the board may have forgotten my situation. So what happened, it was Easter. Actually, it was March, it was the 31st, it would be 27th, it was Thursday. And what I had, in order to celebrate Easter, I had this. It says Easter blessings on my door. And I was told that that had to be removed because for religious symbolism. I actually did checking on it before I put it up and found out that it was okay. So I think that some of you know that what happened is I had I went to the EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and I received a letter stating from this. This letter is also your right to sue. So I have a right to sue, allows you to file a private lawsuit in the state court. I chose not to do this. I wanted mediation. There was mediation. I'm not satisfied with what happened, but I was hoping that that was going to create a situation that could be taken care of. What happened, since the mediation, I've still been told certain things are not okay, or still I've been told certain things are not okay to put in my door. And it seems trivial to you, but it seems important to me. When I was hired in 1994, I was I was in a newspaper. And I wanted to go ahead and have a picture of being in a newspaper. Not the students would like that. It talked about Merced College, it talked about me, and I just thought it'd be nice to see a little picture and a new picture. I thought that'd be nice. And that was rejected. When this occurred, I also asked a few questions that I haven't had answers to yet. So like, I want to know why Charles Schlinger had to remove everything from his door in March of this year, when the letter that went around said everything had to be removed by October 1st. Why me first? And then for 2 months, everybody within my area was able to have it. And then by the end of May, just before graduation, I had everybody at this campus had to remove things, which is a few months before the October 1st deadline. So why are we, why am I singled out for the more 2 months than other people, and those type of things. I'm just curious, so I consider that these type of questions, I consider them acceptable questions that I believe I should have an answer to, yet at this point I have not had an answer to. Should I go further? You know what? I know that your time is valuable and you have a very long night tonight, so I guess I won't go further. But I'm just saying that the situation has been created. I think that help still needs to be incurred over here. So if you would, please consider perhaps doing something that we could just have help over here, please. And I thank you for your time again.
Anyone else wishing to address the board at this time? Okay, I take it that everyone is satisfied that they've spoken. At this point, we will adjourn to closed session.